I am submitting for the Genesis Awards. So in September, I went to the ACFW conference, and it was super inspiring to be at the gala and get to see who won the awards and how all that worked. So I told myself as soon as the Genesis Awards were accepting entries again, that I would submit. So this is me submitting to the Genesis Awards, and I am super excited. Kind of nervous, but I really can't wait to see what comes of it. Obviously, you can't be sure that you're gonna win, and I don't really want to get my hopes up for that. But even if I do not win, there is a lot of critique and help that comes through having professionals having seen your work. So even if I don't win, there's still a lot of benefits through being able to submit to this. So for you who don't have any idea what I'm talking about when I say the Genesis Awards, they're basically an award given by ACFW, American Christian Fiction Writers. It is a chance for unpublished writers to get their work read by experienced authors and even be seen by publishing houses. Obviously, it seems like a very neat experience, so why not? It doesn't cost that much. I think it's like $35 since I'm a member of ACFW. So why not? I'm submitting for them, and I think it'll be super cool to see what comes of it. So I am submitting to the Genesis Awards right now. So by the time this video comes out, the deadline's gonna be way past. The deadline was actually March 15th, so I'm submitting a few days before that. I tend to go like right up to the end of deadlines. I have a bad habit of doing that, so I think I've had like 2 months or so to actually submit, but I am cutting it very close, like I do with everything. So we are submitting to the Genesis Awards right now, and let's get started. So up front, we have all of the information about the contest. So I've read through all of this, like the eligibility, the fees, submission instructions, format. I don't know why, but the format really stresses me out because if you can get disqualified if you do it wrong, and I feel like I'm gonna do it wrong. But I've gone over it like 5 times, so I think I know what I'm doing. So I'm just going through their Genesis Awards page. I think I've done everything. I did already create my submission thing. I made a 1-page synopsis for the first time, and that was slightly stressful because the story I'm submitting is dual POV with dual timelines. So it's basically 2 separate concepts that I have to fit into 1 page of a synopsis. And when you only have 1 POV, that is already hard enough because there's so much of the story that you have to cut out or just leave out just so that you have enough space. But I have 2 people that we're following, so that makes it a lot more complicated. But I did it. I did 1-page synopsis, and I'm very proud of myself. So then after I made the 1-page synopsis, then I read through my chapters a little bit. That was hard because I really wanted to submit 2 chapters because I'm alternating the POVs. So I really wanted to have at least 1 chapter with both POVs submitted so that they kind of get the feel for both characters. And that was difficult because I don't have many pages, and I only have 16 pages in all, and one of those pages is supposed to be the 1-page synopsis. So there really wasn't that much space, and you can't really just say, well, there's not very much space, so I'm just not going to do double spacing. That is also a formatting guideline that you have to follow or else you'll be disqualified. So I made it all work. I got everything formatted. They actually have a really handy dandy template for you to use, which was really helpful just so I knew exactly what they meant when they said stuff because I am not a professional and I have never done this before, so I don't always know exactly what they mean when they say specific things. So that was really nice just to have a template to be able to use and go off of. So yeah, the template is really nice because it has all the different spacing guidelines and all of that sort of stuff, so it shows exactly how big the margins are supposed to be, which it helps me just to be able to see it and visualize it. I obviously know what an inch looks like, but it helps to just be able to see it in a template so I know exactly what I'm going for. And then it helps just to have a header because I don't know how I missed this, but I had no idea I was supposed to have a header until I looked at the template. So overall, having the template was super helpful for me to be able to design my own thing off of. So then after that, I am gonna go to, let me see, the form. This is so official. So I'm just going to go and fill in my personal information. Okay, so then they want you to fill in things for your local newspaper. Honestly, I have no connections with the local newspaper, and I just found all of this information online. I don't know if that's what they wanted, but that's what I got. So then we're gonna go down to the entry information, and this is the fun part, where we're actually putting in the information about the story. And then we're just gonna go down to do a list of the people who have seen the manuscript. So I have had a few professionals that have looked at it. They haven't actually read the whole manuscript, but they've seen enough of the story and seen synopsises and outlines that if they were a part of the judging process and they got one of that, they would know that it was from me. So I put Joanne Bischoff down, Tara Johnson. I actually met her at the ACFW conference my first time, and that was pretty neat. That was a cool story that maybe I'll have to talk about later. And then if you have any extra, you can just add it and keep adding until you've finished up how many other professionals have seen it. So also Katie Phillips has seen it in different craft critique submissions to little 400-word excerpts that she has critiqued for me and done editorial feedback on. And then SD Grimm has also seen a bit of it. And then I just need to place how many words it is, the category. So it is historical fiction. It's not actually historical romance. There is a bit of a romance in it. I like to say that I write historical fiction with a thread of romance because romance doesn't usually drive the plot, and that is the definition of historical romance. So, well, or honestly, it's the definition of romance in general if the romance is driving the plot. I just got off on a rabbit trail. Anyways, it's historical fiction, but they like to have you do a secondary category just in case the first one falls through. So I am doing my second category as historical romance because there is romance. It doesn't actually qualify as that, but honestly, I don't think they'd probably dissolve the historical fiction category because there's always a lot of historical fiction writers that want to submit. So then after that, we are going to certify that this is unpublished. It is unpublished. And then we are going to continue. Oh, okay. So it gives me a review page where I get to look over all of what I submitted. So it shows the picture that I used. Okay, so all of the name stuff, all the information is correct. Great. Okay, and then we have all the entry information. I'm going to check that I've read through and understand all the official rules. Trust me, I've read through them a lot. I've read through them like 10 times just to make sure I'm not forgetting anything, because I would hate to submit and then have done something wrong, formatted something wrong, and then be disqualified. So I have read through all the rules. I do certify that. All right, are we ready to submit? Okay, that freaks me out. All right, it's submitted. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Okay, it's submitted. I can't turn back. I can't read through it again. All right, never mind. It's not completely submitted. I still have to pay for it. So let me pay for it really quick. All right, I'll just use PayPal, and $35 gone out of my bank account, but I am a part of the Genesis Awards submissions. So this is so cool. Thank you for your payment, and I'm so excited. This is so cool. As I said earlier, I don't have a ton of high hopes for this. Obviously, I would love to win, and that would be so amazing if I won or even if I finaled, but just being able to be a part of this contest is super cool. All right, so it looks like in May of 2023, the date is TBA, and the semifinalists will be announced. So I guess we'll check back in May. And I am super excited to see what comes of this. So drop a like to wish me luck. I am super excited about this contest. It's just such a neat experience to be able to have my work read by literary agents and authors and experienced publishers and just people high up in the industry that know what they're talking about. I think that's always worth a little bit of effort and worth a little bit of money just to be able to get that professional feedback. And if I win, that would be awesome. I would probably go crazy. All right, well, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want to follow along on my journey to publication, hopefully sometime in the future, then I hope that you will click subscribe and turn on the bell notifications, and I will see you in the next video. And if you want to stick around just a second longer, I'm going to show some bloopers because there was one word throughout this whole video that I could not pronounce. All right, I'll see you in the next video. The Genesis concert. Ugh. The Genesis Awards conference. Contest. I keep saying conference. Super excited about this conference. I can't say contest.